A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and on the free Odyssey app.
It is the Mason Crosby Show, live from the 1250 AM, 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Tommy Wirtz in for Mitch Thunder Nellis, joined by the Packers' all-time leading scorer, 1,930 more points than Lucas Habershik. Pat Mason Crosby. Good morning. Yeah. Good afternoon, Mason.
Good afternoon. It is 12 to 2. I had a nice little 4-day break, so I'm raring to go. Does Luke Fickell still have a job today? Is that something that we're going to talk about?
Oh,
our Packers did get their win. I know there's some people, Sparky, that is still upset that they won, because it wasn't the right way. I don't know. So we'll dive into that. We got all kinds of things. I would love to hear everyone's reaction today on why are you upset that the Packers won? Because it wasn't 35-0. Was it just not pretty enough? I know, Tommy, you said it was the most boring game you've seen in a long time. So we'll dive into all that, and then our Milwaukee Brewers breaking hearts over the weekend and now get to face those mean guys from the West, the LA Dodgers, in this NLCS, which we cannot wait for.
Cannot wait. It's going to be awesome today. Ryan Wood joins us at 1 o'clock as well from the Green Bay Press Gazette. We'll go over our picks. Sometimes I looked really smart. Sometimes I looked really dumb. But that's kind of every week with all of us, it feels like, on the pick segment too. But we'll start things off with the Green Bay Packers. They win 3-1-1 now on the season after picking up the 27-18 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals. And Mason, I'll let you go with your first reactions here, but you kind of buried my lead on. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been more bored at 27 points from this Packers offense. And I'm just waiting for it, or I guess at some point, for Green Bay right now. Your thoughts on the victory yesterday?
Let's never discount a win in the NFL. So we'll start there. This is a NFL team. The Bengals, even though they don't always look like an NFL team, they are an NFL football team. Organization might be a disaster, but winning in the NFL is hard. So we have to give Packers credit for they handled the game. That game was under control from the very beginning. Jordan Love throws a ill-advised throw, gets tipped, interception, where they were going to score points there as well. So
yes,
that's 30, 34 points, potentially, if they put points on the board there. The one concern, honestly, I have is still this Packers defense not creating turnovers and not creating not making the pressure turn into impact big plays. They got off the field just fine. Didn't really, the second half, the Bengals were moving the ball a little bit, but still that game was never really in doubt the whole time. And I think that makes for a boring game, right? Where it's just there's not really much happening here. Packers offense is moving the ball how they want to move it. The Bengals started moving the ball a little bit in the second half. We kind of get a little bit bored with that, right? But I think that's the part of this Packers defense that last year was so exciting. They were getting turnovers at a high clip, right?
Yeah.
Giving the offense the ball back. It was really exciting. Now they're just a pressure-packed, hard-nosed defense that just gets the other team off the field, but it's just not as exhilarating.
And I think that's a great point to bring up, is that the defense, maybe it is more boring as well than last year's, with that take of they don't commit as many turnovers. They have a great pass rush, but you can tell week in and week out, the game plan is get the ball out quick against this Packers defense. It's
Yeah.
all, and even more so with a brand new quarterback who's been there for 48 hours or whatever it was too. It's quick passes, check downs, get the ball in the hands of your playmakers, and the defense doesn't really have a lot of opportunities to pin the ears back and go after it. We saw one from our guy, Lucas Van Ness.
That was a great sack.
That was his first sack of the season on Joe Flacco right here.
Behind the back, second down goal. Flacco to the air. Hit by Van Ness. He's sacked back at the 10. Losing 6. That's his first sack of the season.
And then immediately gets hurt right after that, like the next play. So it was like as much as you could find positive, then he had to get the shoe off, the sock off, everything, went back in, didn't return either. Still waiting on an update from him. But this is already a defense, Mason, that is down Devontae Wyatt right now. And they're still trying to acclimate to this new defense with Micah Parsons. You saw yesterday, there was a lot of third down rushes where Micah was that mug blitzer, right? He was coming from the middle a lot more. They were experimenting with him in new spots. And I think it was because the lack of pass rush that they get from the middle without Devontae Wyatt on it.
Yeah, I think the disappointment I had with, again, was this pass rush yesterday against a Bengals offensive line that is really not good statistically, right? So to only get that one sack against this Bengals team, yes, like they were throwing, but I mean, they went downfield a couple times to Jamar Chase. Like Higgins had a couple catches. If 80, I don't know his name because he might not be there long. It's a Gome or whatever his name is.
Yoshibas. Right?
Yoshibas. Yeah. He could not catch the ball, which was good for this Packers defense because he ran some good routes. Had some opportunities. If he catches that ball, might have been some different moments there. But I remember the Jamar Chase his touchdown catch. I think they brought 6 or 7 on that rush. I mean, they were bringing the house. Cincinnati's offensive line locked it down, and they were able to score a touchdown. So those types of things, I'm like worrying me a little bit, where it's like this high pressure rates, but not getting to the quarterback, not creating turnovers. Like that kind of system against good teams is going to it's going to end up backfiring against this Packers team if they can't start turning that pressure into sacks, pressure into turnovers, and starting to give this offense the ball back a little bit quicker.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. We are presented by Verizon, official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. If you want to join the show, Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. What does this Packers team do well? What do they not do well right now? Are you excited about this Packers team? I don't know if there is another fan base right now, and I am including myself in this thought process, that feels like this about a team that's in first place in the division. They have just one loss on the year, and that was the performance they got out of the bye against the Bengals team that had a brand new quarterback, and I wasn't really in love with any of it. I thought that there was some good moments, right, where you can have you can have that Matthew Golden looking like he was really trying to find himself. Tucker Kraft, he just loves to bash his face into everyone's face whenever he catches a ball. But even yesterday, there was a comment from Matt LaFleur that I wanted to play here that kind of feels like even if you get excited about anyone having a day, that's not his plan ever, is to let anyone have a day on this Green Bay Packers team.
I mean, it's just is what it is, guys. Like, I know everybody wants us to force feed guys the ball, but I mean, that's really not how we've done it around here, and I don't plan on changing that. So, that's the beauty of having a lot of guys that we have a lot of confidence in, that where we have confidence that we can put anybody in the situation and try to have plays off of plays, and a lot of it is dictated off the coverages, however teams are playing us, and the quarterback's role is just to make sure the ball's going in the right place based on what the defense presents. And whoever gets those catches, they get them.
There is Matt LaFleur, not going to force feed anyone, which they've never done in Green Bay. They've never done that. That's not how things operate. Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What?
They've never force fed anyone. They don't want to force feed that way. Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line 414-677-1250. We got MJ on the south side. MJ, how we doing this afternoon?
Hey, guys, I'm doing good. Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah, what do you got for the Packers Bengals?
Oh, man. So happy for the win, obviously. But the way that it went about, I was very discouraged. I disagree, Mason. I don't think that the game was in hand. It was, 10-7 after 3? And this is against a team in the Bengals that suck out loud on both sides of the ball. And so the things that really discouraged me was the line play on the offensive line. It was amazing to me how Cincinnati could get pressure in consistently against the Packers. I knew that Jacobs was going to start getting stronger as the game went on, those long drives, especially through the first half. I knew that was going to pay dividends later on. But, boy, they could never just put it together in a consistent manner up until the very end. And conversely, I just looking at this defense, and I know there's a couple key pieces out, but I am consistently amazed that through these last 3 games, they simply cannot put together a pressure game against teams that they really, really should be able to do that against. So I'm hoping that things start to work themselves out as the season goes on. It's a long season, relatively speaking. It's early on, but boy, I am just a little bit nervous about the way these last few games have gone. Thank you.
Yeah, MJ, thanks for the call, my man. Yeah,
I hear you, but I also the Packers never were behind in this game. A team like the Cincinnati Bengals, I mean, once you get a 2-score lead against that, what the closest they were was 7, or I guess they got it to 3 points.
Yeah,
7-10.
When it
there was a moment there. I think the Bengals came out of half. Yeah, and they had a great first drive. So I think there was a moment where it was like, okay, but then Packers went and answered. They did a great job, and they answered right away. They answered in the fourth quarter there, took that thing up by 10. Yeah, Bengals, hung around, but Packers scored 17 points in the fourth quarter. I mean, they did what they needed to do, and that's what you do to these teams. I just at no point looked at this Bengals team as a threat to be able to mount a comeback that the Packers couldn't. Yes, it could have it was closer than everyone wanted it to be, but I think what I'm saying is there was never a moment. If I'm in that game and I'm on the sideline, I'm not sitting there like, man, we better figure something else out or this is going to get out of hand. It was basically the Packers could just do what they needed to do to get that win yesterday. And sometimes games just fall like that.
Yeah. Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line. Another one here. Sherman and Racine. How we doing today, Sherman?
I'm doing good, guys. How y'all doing?
Good. Very good.
Great.
Very good. What'd you think about the game yesterday, Sherman?
Well, I mean, as I'm listening to you guys, I'm right with you. I was never concerned about that game per se. What my concern is that this is a young team, sort of like the Brewers, and they seem to play down to the talent level, or they seem to, the national media said the Packers should win by 14. So I'm not seeing the effort on every play that Matt's going to have to get those guys to understand. Just like Murphy got the Brewers to understand, you got to play every pitch.
You were never concerned, Sherman, but you were never impressed, it feels like, right?
Yeah, well, you know what? The defense, man, and I know this may sound like excuses, but after the first 2 games and seeing Devontae Wyatt go down, I realized that he's going to be a whole lot more important to this defense this year. Than he has been the previous 2 years. Also, I would like to see Goody look at going out and try to sign us a Howard Green, because we need another big. I know we got Stackhouse in there, but we need another big run stopper in the middle of the defense.
Go get you another big guy. Yeah.
Another big. That's gonna free up Micah. That's gonna free up Van Ness. That's gonna free all that up even more so, because when Wyatt went down, the defense hasn't been the same since.
Yeah. Those interior linemen free up that pass rush. Like, if you have good interior rushers and good interior linemen, that's what makes edge rushers great. So, I totally agree with you on that one.
Okay, listen, one more thing. You know, this narrative about we have to have a number one receiver. I don't buy it. I hope Matt sticks to his guns. I hear people keep talking about Devontae Adams. That was on Aaron Rodgers. If it had been left up to Matt LaFleur, he wouldn't have been throwing the ball to Devontae Adams 13, 14 times a game. You know, I go back to Todd Bowles, Super Bowl winning coach Todd Bowles. When Tampa came in here and beat us, after the game, and it struck me, Todd Bowles said all we had to do was contain Devontae Adams to beat the Packers. And I hope that rings in Matt LaFleur's ears like it does mine.
Yeah.
We don't ever want to be that predictable again. We got a bunch of young studs. Let them run the Z and the Y and whoever's in whatever position according to the defense. Love needs to throw them the ball, and let's go win us a Super Bowl.
Let's do it, Sherman. Thanks for the call, Sherman.
Appreciate you.
There he is, Sherman and Racine, hopping off the Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line, 414-677-1250 if you want to be a part of the show. Mason, a couple numbers here. Green Bay's defense is first in the NFL in first quarter points allowed, right?
Yeah.
They haven't allowed a point yet in the first quarter, I believe.
Yeah. No, they're a great defense.
They're fourth in quarter two in the NFL in points allowed. They are fifth in quarter three, and they are dead last in quarter four. That's got to be a problem, right? That's a concerning number that they continue to do well for three quarters, but then at the end of the game, and I think that's when people got the most concerned with this team, is when they made it 24-18, and you saw the last two games, the last 3 weeks, and what Green Bay did in the fourth quarter, allowing Dallas to get back in the game, allowing Cleveland to get back in the game at the back end of it. Like, you can't ask someone for $1 and give them 75 cents, Mason, right? You need the fourth quarter in there. And
that's
now,
a great stat
that's a problem. That's a problem, Mason.
That is a problem. And I think that's what, is sitting weird with me with this defense. Like, defensively, fourth overall defense, right? Like, their total defense. Like, this is a good defensive team, but it's going to bite you late in games against the really quality opponents,
right?
Like the Philadelphia Eagles, the Pittsburgh Steelers, maybe, whenever you play Detroit and, you're playing your divisional games, those are going to bite you in the butt. So you got to figure that out. And I don't know if it's this high amount of pressure rate early where it's like, all of a sudden now we're burnt out by the end of the game because it's just so much the whole time. But I don't know. I mean, these guys are built for that. So I think they just got to shift that. And again, it comes to the Packers offense. I think if they get a turnover added into that, if they can find a way to turn the ball over and give the offense an extra possession in those first halves and get some just jump up on teams, those things might look a little different down the stretch here. But I found it interesting yesterday. I mean, again, what Matt LaFleur said, very true. I'm glad he's honest about it. And this team, though, I just think without that number one, that go-to, I think that's where we get a little off, right? Where it's like, this team, what is their it? Mm-hmm. What is their go-to in that crunch time whenever the game's on the line? What is that going to look like? I thought the plan coming out of half was great. You got Josh Jacobs out into the flats, throwing him the ball. Tucker Kraft got a few more touches. Matthew Golden showing up. I mean, Josh Jacobs had an excellent game yesterday. But I think the only issue with spreading it around like this is if you're basically trying to hedge your bet that somebody's going to get hot, but it's that hot guy doesn't get to get on fire. It's just kind of we nibble at that edge. All right, we're going to try this. Oh, that didn't work. So I'm just worried that it hinges so much on Matt LaFleur and his play calling and what he's built. And if he's off at all, this whole thing can unravel.
I think
that's the worry.
That's what he wants, right? I mean, it's
a lack of trust, which I don't love. You know,
Yes.
that's whenever you watch the Lions lost last night, but when you and the Chiefs, that game last night, we got to admit those are two of the most exciting teams to watch, I think, in football.
Yes,
because they just do fun stuff. They just do like the unique things. The touchdown that didn't count, the throw to Goff.
Yeah,
I mean, could you ever see LaFleur calling a play?
No.
Because no, that's an ultimate trust in your players to execute a play that is kind of outside the scope of normal schematic football, right? So I love seeing like those types of games. And LaFleur's system, it has proven to work, but like I just have some concern that there's not trust to unlock this offensive potential because of some of the mindset up there in Green Bay.
It is the Mason Crosby Show. Can the Crew take game 1 tonight? Let's talk about it on Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer starting at 2:00, and then we will get you ready for the game. I will be on with the leadoff show with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer as he will be down there for both shows, broadcasting live from Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound, courtesy of Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea, right here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. Let's get into maybe some of that trust issues on the other side with Green Bay, Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, everyone speaking as well after the game. It is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Welcome back to the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon. Tommy Wirtz in for Mitch Thunder Nellis, joined by the Packers' all-time leading scorer, Mason Crosby.
What's up?
Kickers, big topics in Green Bay as of late. Did you ever get a call? You never got a call? You're confirming that you never got a call?
I never got a call. We did have, someone on Nicolay Law Fan Talking text line say, Mason, I was waiting for you to come out yesterday and kick. That would have been great. Yeah, I'm sorry. They did not give me the call. I was actually thinking about coming, going to that game and watching, right?
Man,
so
yeah.
how great would it have been if, I was in the
Cold
stands
music hits.
and they just,
oh, Mason.
I still got my pads and jersey. I'm just I'm just a fan. I just showed up to the game like this just in case, whatever you need.
I feel like it's not that easy. I just feel like I mean, I get it. Like once a kicker, always a kicker, but Haversick looked pretty dialed yesterday.
Kicking is not that easy. That is a fact.
Yeah.
And I texted Haversick, so I got to meet him whenever I had a short stint there at the Rams a few years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So good kid, works really hard, just kind of had like a rough go at some different spots, circumstances where it's just like, man, it just didn't work out. So I love that he said, and I think you have some of his audio, which let's let him say it. And then we'll talk about what he said after the game yesterday.
Beats me. I was just going to look. So I was probably just substitute teaching again, try to get my credentials in Cleveland if they needed any. So, yeah.
Did you have
strange to you, Lucas, or does this seem
it's of course strange, but I try to do my best to adapt to the situation. I've had a lot of workouts in the NFL, had a red eye last year to Buffalo, ended up getting signed. So I don't know. I'm a little fried mentally, I guess. I don't know, but it's just I treat it as this is just your job and be prepared as best as possible and just be ready for sudden change, I guess. So.
Yeah, there it is. The sudden change, the call-in kicker, if you will.
Call-in kicker.
Lucas Haversick. I mean, he's probably gone after this week, right? I mean, they're going to just go right back to McManus.
Yeah, McManus is fine. Obviously, that whatever he did during the week was more, it was more serious than what McManus might have let on after LaFleur said it was significant or it was concerning, and they kind of had their back and forth. So it obviously was something that they just didn't feel comfortable that he could go out there and perform at a high level. But give a shout out, Lucas Haversick, just getting the call, coming in, doing an awesome job.
They won by 9. He scored 9 points.
Doing an awesome job. And it was a gusty day, mind you. It was October and it was 65 degrees, which those are winning days, regardless of the winds blowing. You're just like, thank you for another beautiful day here in Green Bay. But I texted him last night and I was just like, man, hey, heck of a game. Way to step up, way to go out there and do your job. And so, my thing though, I saw this a couple times and I this is something that irks me a little bit where they've started lumping extra points and field goals together where it's like, Haversick or whoever goes 5 for 5 on the day and making it sound like he had 5 for 5 field goals.
Right.
Like, no, he had 2 field goals. He had 3 extra points. That's a difference. It's like if I wish I would have had the everything lumped in and counted together.
Yes.
Some days would have looked a lot better than others. So I'm just going to implore everyone, you separate it out. He went 2 for 2 on field goals and he had 3 extra points. Let's make sure that we're not saying 5 for 5 because they don't count the same. They don't count percentage wise the same. Let's not make it confusing for everybody.
He went 5 for 5 on kicks. Can we say that or no?
Well, you can say it, but it doesn't it doesn't count. It just doesn't count the same. Extra points are a separate topic than field goal. Separate percentage, separate category.
And how many years did you play? 1 year, 2 years with the extra points backed up?
A lot of years. Was it
that long?
Back in 14 or yeah, wasn't it moved back quite a long time ago?
Not 10 years.
It's been a while. It's been a while, bro.
I can't imagine it's that long. I would have said was in 2020 when there was no fans, were you kicking 33-yard extra points?
Yes.
Really? Oh, okay. Well, I guess I have a completely
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, I would have guessed it was like around the 2020 mark when they did that. Why hasn't college adapted it by now then, if that was what they were going to do? I know the kicking talent isn't
2015 season, bro.
Wow. All right. Yeah. You know what? Congrats. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you. Thank you.
That's on me.
Yeah.
That's on me.
Seriously.
They are different kicks, people. All right, listen. Jeez. My bad.
No, I'm all for it. Like I said that as soon as they moved it back, I'm like, just make it all like obviously 1 point versus 3, but just lump it all together now. Just like because it's like that 33-yard extra point is a field goal.
Brandon
you
Aubrey
are going out
will
there
have
and
like 101 field goal percentage.
He'll be 101%.
Yeah,
yes.
if they do that.
Can you get extra?
It is the Mason Crosby show. As you know, we talked kicking for all that time right there. And you wanted to mention it. They just showed it on McAfee. If you don't have any other reason to be a pro grass field on keeping together of your grass on your field, Chris Boswell's ankle is it done? What's going on with that?
Is like Pittsburgh trying to say that they need turf? Like did they make that field so bad?
It looked like Soldier Field. Like that's what it looked like.
It did,
yes.
Which is crazy because I know they like a few years ago did what Lambeau Field did. They did the woven in turf fibers. So that field should be fine. I mean, it's October. Like the weather's been great. So that was crazy. It looked like just hay laid on top of dirt, and his foot went literally underground, it looked painful. I feel for him. I hope he's not in any kind of injury situation after that. But come on, Pittsburgh, get your stuff figured out.
Yes.
Because Lambeau Field looked immaculate yesterday. It looked amazing. The only issue we have with Lambeau Field sometimes is like if you don't wear the right cleats, you actually slide on top of it. So you just got to have the right cleats on. Come on, guys.
Nicolay Law fan talking text line 414-677-1250. If you want to be a part of the show, Nate in North Milwaukee, Matt LaFleur is going to be the reason why players like Tucker Kraft, Jaden Reed, Matthew Golden leave for opportunities, because after hearing what he just said, there is no opportunity to be that guy here. I wanted to play another clip from Matt LaFleur in his post-game presser yesterday, talking about how do you take more command of games in which you are heavy favorites. Here is Matt LaFleur.
Yeah, that's a great question. Otherwise, we'd do that, you know. I think when you look at the first half, we had 2 drives where we scored. We had a third drive where we're down there in the red area and we throw a pick. And certainly when you're in scoring position and you come away with nothing, that's tough to deal with. I think one of the things that when you look at the totality of the game, there were a lot of critical situations where they were able to make the play and we didn't, to keep them in the game. But that is life in the National Football League.
So that is life in the National Football League, is that command doesn't exist, maybe, in the form of Matt LaFleur. And every time Mace, I did not have this going into this season, but I just want Matt LaFleur to stop talking sometimes. You say 8 too many words than you're supposed to at a time. Oh, that'd be nice. Then we should do that.
Doesn't he feel offended, or it feels like it's this question that's directed at his soul, and it's this personal attack. It's we're just asking what happened on the field. Just give us some ball talk. Just kind of lean into it a little bit. And
it seems like Matt LaFleur he wants to be as scripted as possible. And maybe that's the case with every NFL team, right? You want to have a plan and execute that plan. And if you have to veer off that plan, you didn't execute it properly otherwise. Because he was asked a little bit about Jordan Love's play, and I can play that after, but he is impressed with how he's done. And I think that
I am too.
That falls under he is executing what I am asking him to execute. When it was the previous 2 guys, there was a lot more improvisation within the Packers offense, and maybe that allowed for more creativity in this Packers offense. But right now, this Packers team, it feels like it's so vanilla on the offensive side, and that's the craziest thing they do is a freaking jet sweep to Matthew Golden or Savion Williams or Bo Melton even got one yesterday. It's just no one loves orbit motion more than Matt LaFleur. I will stand on that take.
here's a prime example of when players and playmakers need to go make plays. Matthew Golden was it late in that game, right? Whenever he changed his route slightly, if he had just stayed on that angle he was going, he's not going to get open. That guy had it over the top coverage. He literally pressed to his feet, cut underneath him, and Jordan was able to find him, right? But that's a player making a play in a moment where it wasn't scripted. So, like, I want to look at the Tampa Bay versus 49ers game real quick. I'm just going to go because my guy Baker Mayfield.
Our guy.
He's awesome. He's a dog. But you look at Mac Jones versus Baker Mayfield in that game. And Mac Jones, at the end of that game, was running their offense to try to move them down the field. He literally throws a route short of the sticks on 4th down. Like, a quarterback you should not do that. But it was probably like, hey, this is the out. If he runs this out and he's open, hit him. And he just didn't even think about down and distance. If Baker Mayfield on the other side, when he needs a drive, you've seen what they've been able to do. The guy just finds his players and he goes off script at times. He finds a way to move and will that team down the field. So that is my concern with a quarterback playing so tightly within the system. And Jordan Love ran the ball great yesterday. He scrambled. Great. Jordan is doing a lot of really good things, but I just worry about those like critical moment times. And I don't know if that's why, even whenever it was Aaron Rodgers and those teams, we couldn't get past that NFC Championship, that big game. Was it just in those moments we couldn't get outside of a system that kind of didn't allow for us to be great or go to that next level? So those are questions that can be answered throughout the season. And I think as Jordan Love progresses, I mean, you look at his numbers, you look what he's doing. Like he's commanding the game. He's having a fantastic season. So you can't really say anything but positives about what Jordan Love. He literally led that offense in a really positive way yesterday with his legs, with his patience throwing the ball. Like he did a lot of really good things. So I just want to continue to see his progression, taking over that offense and leading them within the system, but then also off script and making sure it's like when we need it, I'm going to be the guy to find that option that is going to go like take us down the field and get us a win.
Yeah, and I think that this throw alone like sold me that Jordan Love can be that guy.
6 in the secondary, 3rd and 10 for Love. Here comes Hendrickson. There goes Love. Downfield, caught by Golden. What a catch. What a throw. Cam Taylor-Britt was beaten. Ball at the 34, 35. Mark him at the 35-yard line of the Bengals. A 36-yard completion.
And I thought that play, highlights courtesy of CBS, I thought when that was right after, by the way, remember, he missed Luke Musgrave on wide open Luke Musgrave.
Yeah, that was
a bad miss. That was one of the, it maybe isn't one of the worst misses this year because there's been some bad misses on some picks, right? But
yeah,
like that was a throw like, damn, you got to make that one.
He was
right?
open.
You knew Musgrave was going to fall down once he caught it immediately anyway, because that's all he does. But then to have that where you completely miss a first down, easy opportunity, then on 3rd down, puts it on a rope to Matthew Golden, drops it right in the pocket. You see that he has some ability to extend plays with his mobility, as we were just talking about. That was a massive 3rd and 2 later on in the game as well, when they ran a play action, even though Josh Jacobs was having 5 yards of carry, right? We're going to play action right here. And the plan was we're going to hit Josh Jacobs once they come in towards Jordan Love. Well, Josh Jacobs was covered on the play, and Jordan Love makes a couple men miss and is able to pick up a first down. It was one of the more impressive 4-yard runs you're going to see from the guy, but that he has that ability. It's just that he hasn't earned the trust, it feels like, yet, to have that more say in what happens on the offense. And maybe that was a problem with the last guy, so there's a little bit of hard to give it up, but that's what I'm seeing, at least, Mace.
You know what I feel about this? Like I've said it many times, and it's earning trust, but it's also taking command. Like it's taking it, right? You're not taking trust, but you're going to take over like the offense and take over what you're in command of and how you want to operate. So, and I think it's beautiful when there's that balance. And again, you see that balance with I go to Kansas City. I mean, with Mahomes and Reed, I mean, you got to think that is one of the best balances of a very dynamic quarterback that is confident and savvy and will go off script.
Yeah.
And an offense that just fits his ability to do that. It's like you have parameters, but then it's like Mahomes go make plays.
Yeah.
Right. So like I think Jordan Love has to decide, and maybe that's not who he is, and that's fine. Like he's doing a great job with where he's at, but maybe he needs to decide, does he want to go to that next level where he becomes the man and he puts it all on his shoulders.
Let's get a quick call here on the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon. Nicolay Law Fan talking text line. Tony in Texas. How we doing, Tony?
Great, Tommy. Tommy, I got a question for you since you're a true Wisconsin sports fan. First, this is for you, Mason, because I don't want you to answer this one, Mason.
Okay.
Tommy, if the Brewers play the Mariners in the World Series and beat the Mariners, does that make up for Mason's team losing in 2014?
Yeah. I mean, I will say that.
Does that exercise the demons finally?
Yeah. That's, right after that, then they moved the extra point back 15 yards, I guess, 2014 to the 20. We just learned that. I guess I was totally off. But yeah, I think that would be like a little bit of like the universe evening itself out, right?
Agree.
But it would have to be because the Mariners, like on the final out, like, bases are loaded and there's 2 outs. The Brewers are down 2. Bases are loaded. An easy pop fly to center field gets dropped, and then they just ran around the bases and won the World Series that way. Like that would be like how it would work itself out to be full even. But I mean, they got to get past the Dodgers still here, Tony. Still got to get past the Dodgers.
I had to say that because I know Mason has some PTSD. But I will.
Way to bring it up. I mean, I'm like. I finally recovered. I feel like now it's all coming back to me.
Well, you did your part.
Yeah,
I did.
Hey, I got to give it up to that kicker yesterday too. That guy did his part. Great job by him. Hey, here's my question, Mason, for you though. And we talk about LaFleur and the game plan and the passing and all this. These quick passes they're doing behind the line of scrimmage. Does he just not trust the offensive line? Is that what it is?
Well, I mean, I think there's a combination of that. Obviously. I felt like Tom was getting beat a little bit, a little quick in that first half. So yeah, I thought the plan coming out in the second half was great. It was get the ball in Tucker Kraft's hands, get the ball to Josh Jacobs, like do some quick hitters so they can't tee off on you. They're going to have to key on those guys, and then it opens up the rest of the field. I've been saying that all year. Like get the ball just to Tucker Kraft and Josh Jacobs. Get the ball in your playmakers' hands on the edges as much as possible. And play that chess match. So I think it's a combination of, you got Tom coming back off injury. He might have just been a little off of his game yesterday, finding ways to just take the pressure off them, allow Jordan Love to spread that ball out a little bit. I have no issue with, honestly, I thought that second half game plan was a lot better than the first half game plan, and the adjustment was really good coming out of halftime.
Tony, we're up against the clock. Have a good one, my man.
Tommy.
Go Brewers, all right?
Appreciate you, Tony.
There he is, Tony in Texas on the Nicolay Law Fan talking text line 414-677-1250 if you want to join the show at any time. On the other side, we'll wrap up some Packer talk on our end before we get to our guy Ryan Wood at the top of the hour. Brewers NLCS roster is out. We'll get it to you guys on the other side. It is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. It is the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz. Oh, and the recently ripped salt man
Yeah.
of Mason
My heartache
Crosby.
medication. Whoa.
Joining us now on the fan talking text line, Nicolay Law fan talking text line. Michelle is out in Wausau. Michelle, good afternoon. How are you doing?
Hello. I am thrilled to death to be speaking with you guys. This is the best thing ever. I
Awesome.
tune on my sports talk show, and I'm just going to say, you tell John Kuhn, Michelle from Wausau says hi, because he used to talk to him all the time. And I didn't know that our local broadcaster switched over. I've never been so happy in my life.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yep. You got us now.
God.
Let's go.
What do you got on the Packers,
Hooray.
Michelle?
Many, many things.
All right.
Okay. Number one, Mason, don't you think maybe they should keep that nice little kick around just a little longer? Because what if his leg doesn't feel so good, or he tries one kick and he goes, "Oh no," and it hurts again?
Yeah, they do have another
bit?
kicker on the practice squad, so very rare to have three on there. And the other kicker fulfills an international roster spot, so it's kind of a little loophole where they'd have to do a lot of maneuvering. But yes, I agree. I mean, Haversick did a great job coming in, and that's no easy task, just to fly in on a Thursday and then get yourself ready to go for a game.
Okay, good. So then here's my next question. You're sort of touched on this. I've been waiting and waiting all season. They keep talking about Golden. I did not get to practice this year, so I didn't see all this fast speed. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's amazing." When are we going to get to see the amazing? Why can't he just air that puppy out and he can run as fast as he can? Because that's what they said we were going to get to see. But I don't know. Unless I miss it, I'm not getting to see that yet.
Yeah, Michelle, thanks for the call. Have a good one, Michelle.
Michelle, I appreciate you. Come on anytime.
Bye.
Thank you.
There she is, Michelle in Wausau. Mace, we kind of brought it up, right? And it sounds like that's not a part of the plan at all, and is to solely focus on one person progressing. But it would be nice to have a playmaker. It sounds like this offense just really misses Christian Watson and Jaden Reed more than we thought.
Yeah, it might. Yeah, that might be a little nugget to keep in our minds as Christian Watson's coming back off the PUP, as he's going to practice. We're going to see how he progresses this week. His vertical threat, the things he can do, his physicality. I mean, he's a huge target and a big body out there as well. But I mean, Matthew Golden has shown it's the acronym is ASS, right? Like for amount of separation or something like that.
I didn't know that.
No, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Have you not seen that?
No.
But Matthew Golden gets the most
He's
ASS.
got the most ASS. Yeah, I didn't really
out
know.
there.
I haven't looked at his ASS in a while.
You should look at that ASS.
All right.
But so, and you saw it, a couple times. You saw the splashes of it. He caught that one. What a great catch. Jordan threw a great ball. He used his body to block the defender. He just hasn't broken one out, right? Even the one that he made the adjustment, it's like he loves to run out of bounds for some reason. I'm not sure. Not that I'm questioning his physicality, but kind of questioning, does he not want, is he a physical player? He's a finesse guy, great hands. He's going to get what he can and get down, which self-preservation, not a bad thing if he can stay on the field. But I do think you got Tucker Kraft, who's the dog. You got Josh Jacobs, who's the dog. So you do have some of those bodies, but who is that wide receiver?
Yeah,
that is going to get downfield, going to get in tough spots, make attested catches, and get after it.
Let's ask Ryan Wood on the other side of the Green Bay Press Gazette. He'll join us here on the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Ryan Wood to break down some Packers talk coming up next year on the Mason Crosby Show.
A Super Bowl champion.
The Green Bay Packers have won the Super Bowl.
The Packers' all-time leading scorer.
A game winner for Mason Crosby.
It's time for the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis, presented by Verizon, the #1 network in Milwaukee, on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook and on the free Odyssey app.
Hour number 2, the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Tommy Wirtz, Packers all-time leading scorer, here with you for another hour. Some news in the break there. Titans firing head coach Brian Callahan.
Wow.
Yeah, just to update.
I see it now. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I can read too.
Thank you. 4-19 over 2 seasons. Not great. Not great by any means.
Hey, they tied with the Browns for the worst record, so I mean, at least they're not like the worst. They have a friend there.
Hugh Jackson. Shout out to Hugh Jackson.
Is he going to be the interim?
No. But 4-19. If you were trying, like, that would have been perfect.
That would have been nice.
Joining us now on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law, Packers beat writer for the Green Bay Press Gazette. And recently officiating a wedding as of yesterday, broke the streak at 199 straight games. Ryan, really 199 straight? You couldn't make it to 200?
Couldn't get to 258.
I was as surprised as anyone when I did the math. I was like, how have I been around this long? That seems way too long. But yeah, it would have been number 200. Good reason to miss. It was an incredible wedding.
That's awesome.
Very happy for the happy couple. Beautiful ceremony. But I'm happy to be back too. We'll start a new streak this week with Phoenix.
200 more upcoming here for Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. Ryan, it feels like this was a lose-lose situation for Green Bay this week, where if you didn't cover the spread, it's because the sky is falling, and if you do cover the spread, it's like, good, you beat the Bengals. We're not impressed either way. What was your first reactions to Packers-Bengals yesterday?
It's weird, isn't it? Because on one hand, when you're a 14-point favorite, you are not expected to ever have it be a game. So when it's 10-0 on the scoreboard, it doesn't really matter that it was completely one-sided in the first half, right? I mean, that just felt too close. On the other hand, the game was never actually close. Like, it wasn't. They were up 24-10. The Bengals never had the ball with any chance to tie the game as the second half progressed. Well, it felt a lot like Cleveland, right? Right down to the halftime score. I mean, the Packers were up 10-0 at halftime in Cleveland. They had completely owned the game to that point. They should have been up by more. They didn't close. They lost the game. This time, same scenario. The offense does enough to just keep pushing that lead, right? I mean, there are concerning elements that came out of that game, but also the game wasn't close. It was a 9-point win. It was never one possession with the Bengals having possession. Like they took care of it. And it's one of those, I think, that just kind of get lost in the shuffle of a season overall. You move on, you take the win, you get ready for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Ryan. I said that earlier as well, was just, we had a caller on and some people are just saying like, man, like it just was closer than I wanted. I'm like, that game was never in question. Yes, like the score was close coming out of half because the Bengals, they had a good second half plan, but the Packers were in control the whole time. There was never a doubt that game was going to get out of hand and something weird was going to happen. Like they could do pretty much whatever they want. Josh Jacobs came out and had a great game, which you expect him to do against the Bengals defense that can't stop the run to save their lives. I thought Jordan Love had a phenomenal game. Phenomenal is a big word. He had a good game minus like a couple like weird throws and kind of odd decisions. And he does that sometimes, right? It's like he's scrambling around, decides to try to force a ball in. I don't know what he saw receiver-wise instead of just throwing it out of bounds and kicking a field goal, right? It's like, so it's some of those things that get cleaned up. And those are some of the things, like you said, where maybe there's some concerns coming out of the game for down the road of if this happens against a really good team like the Eagles or when you play the Lions on Thanksgiving, like, are they going to be able to overcome some of these just kind of weird nuances that they kind of step into? What do you think to that?
I don't think there's any question. And I think what this season is going to be, and I'm not just talking this week against the Cardinals, I'm talking over the next 6 weeks to 2 months. What this season is going to be is whether or not this team that is loaded with talent, I mean, plenty of talent, both sides of the ball, can come together, gel, get better each week, and play its best ball by December. If that happens, watch out. This team is going to be geared for a Super Bowl run. If it doesn't, at that time, we can talk about what a colossal disappointment that would be, right? But we don't have that crystal ball. We don't know whether that's going to happen. In the meantime, win as many games as you can, because that's going to matter. In this conference especially, you want those games late in the season in the playoffs coming through to Lambeau Field. So long-term, get better. They need to beat those top teams. But in the meantime, just take the win. And that's what they did Sunday against the Bengals in a game that, was not actually that close. So that's what I'm curious about. Are they going to get better or not? We'll watch that week in and week out.
Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, joining us here on the Mason Crosby Show. Ryan, how do they get better? Where do you point first to they need to get better? Because there was a couple of comments after the game with Matt LaFleur, and what he had basically said was, we're going to do this by committee, right? And when you talk about the offensive weapons, it was great to see Josh Jacobs break out a little bit in this game, where he had a monster day of over 150 total yards through the air and the ground, all-purpose wise. But it seems like this offense is running very vanilla until they get all of their pieces back right now. And it seems like they miss Christian Watson and Jaden Reed very much so, and that would make this team better once they get acclimated back.
Yeah, there's things to clean up on the offense, and we can get to that. But I want to make a point. The number one issue on this team right now is not special teams. And I'm not saying that special teams is fixed in any way. I understand that they put their starters on field goal to protect. About time. I still got to see it over the long haul to make sure that that's actually fixed. That's number two. What's growing as the number one concern on this football team right now is the defense's inability to take away the football. That is shocking. And to be very clear, I mean, again, they hold an opponent under 20 points, and they've been doing that with one exception in Dallas all season. This Packers defense is very, very good, but you cannot be a great defense in this league if you do not take away the ball. Those are game-changing plays. Those are how you don't get off the field in the second half, because you're doing so much just to compensate for the fact that you're not taking away the football throughout the entire first half, week in and week out. You're exhausted by the end. Those plays need to happen, and it's really astonishing that they haven't. They have 2 takeaways in 5 games. You would have said that in August. You would have said that after the Micah Parsons trade. Nobody would have believed that was even remotely possible. But that's reality. So that to me is the number one thing. They have got to figure out a way to take away the football. Now, offensively, the running game had its best week of the entire season. I don't think it's a coincidence that they actually had a healthy offensive line. Josh Jacobs had his best game, puking up and down Lambeau Field. Didn't matter. He was between whistles, he was hurting. But during the game, he was Josh Jacobs. I think that was good to see. Jordan Love, the boneheaded pick, that's going to happen with any quarterback. Let's take a step back here. He has 9 touchdowns and 2 interceptions this season. He will not be perfect. He is still playing at a very, very high level, and I think they're only going to get better as one, Matthew Golden, who has now 3 straight weeks of at least a 30-yard catch. As he gets more and more on page with Jordan Love throughout this season, I think you see exponential growth there. Christian Watson coming back next couple weeks, that's going to help late in the season. Jaden Reed, once he gets his full assortment back, he's only going to be better, and he's already pretty good. Even with the boneheaded pick, he still had a 101 passer rating against the Bengals. These things are going to take time, but if those happen, that's how you see this team kind of go from here, which is good enough to be 3-1-1, to where they want to be, which is Super Bowl ready.
Mason, before you go, 2 turnovers, 2 takeaways. The only team worse in the NFL, the winless New York Jets, with 1 takeaway on the season. Before you go with your question, go ahead, Mason.
That's it. Yeah. That was last game, right? They just Jets finally got a turnover, and they celebrated like it was like they maybe had won a game, but they obviously didn't because they're really bad.
Do block kicks not count as turnovers?
No.
No? Oh, no. Sorry. Oh, sorry. That was a dumb question. My bad, Mason. My bad. All right, go ahead.
they call them turnover on downs, I believe, or something like that. But you don't actually get a turnover. But Ryan, you hit it right on the head. And I totally agree with you. And it's wild because we look at that game yesterday and the Bengals getting that turnover is probably the only reason this isn't a blowout in the first half. Because I think if the Packers score on that drive, any points, like that thing's 21-17, nothing at halftime, and you just look at it as a completely different ball game. And then the Packers are just cruising, trying to put up 30 and running away with this thing. But that turnover changed everything. Even though the defense didn't allow a score, the Bengals didn't score off of that. It just changes the flow of it. So, yeah, I totally agree. If this defense can start making their pressures into more sacks, honestly, they're not even getting that many sacks at the moment, and turnovers, the sky's the limit, because those, like that second half, Bengals came out with a good plan and they were moving the ball and our defense was on the field more. And it really, really kind of, hindered what this Packers team was able to do. But I do want to shift focus a little bit from that game to watching the Cardinals this weekend, play a good game against the Colts. Like, what do you think of this Cardinals team, and especially going to Arizona? Do you think that they're going to be something to be reckoned with this week?
Well, you're seeing an opponent that's lost 4 straight games now in their home building. So you're seeing a desperate opponent in its comfortable confines. And we've seen that from the Packers face that already this season in Cleveland, in Dallas. Is history going to repeat or not? Like that's the question. Can you match their urgency? Because the Cardinals are going to be desperate to just win a football game, and they're going to have home field. So you like to see the Packers carry whatever momentum they got from this week, coming off by getting a win, and then show that can be transferable on the road for the first time, because we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think they need to get a road win, and this game is going to be really important, especially with the emotion that's going to follow. Going to Pittsburgh, facing Aaron Rodgers, all the media that's going to be around that. Everyone, you feel like the media, national media, has just been waiting. Like it's like this boil up to like, all right, finally, it's that week. We can jump into all those storylines. So what is this Arizona team? Where do you think they're going to give this Packers team the toughest kind of matchup? I mean, their defense in Arizona is pretty good. We're only on Monday here, but I'd love, since we only have you this morning, I just want to kind of get your initial thoughts on like what this game's going to look like.
Yeah, first we'll have to see who the quarterback is, right? And I mean,
right.
I thought Jacoby Brissett played just fine.
Played fine.
On the run. I mean, he had a bad pick against the Colts that really kind of swung momentum, but for a backup coming in, he put up 27 points on the road, so you can't overlook no matter what the situation is there. It's wild because the Cardinals, they start the season as, okay, maybe this is a playoff contending team. And when things go bad in this league, they go bad quick, right? 4 weeks later, after a solid start, it's just like, oh my goodness, is Jonathan Gannon going to survive the season? Like that's where they are now. So to me, more than any one matchup, to return to this point, you are going into a game against a team that is in full-fledged desperation mode. They are fighting for their lives of this season. If they lose 5 straight, you can just call it. That's the final nail. Like, that. It might be too late already, but you can see them getting up for this game and like, okay, it ends here and we turn it around here. That is what the Packers are going to face on the road. Can they duplicate that urgency when you are 3-1-1? When if you do lose this week, the season's not over. Matt LaFleur's not getting fired. There's nothing that's drastically, emergently going to happen. But can you play like that anyway? That's what I want to see.
Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, joining the Mason Crosby Show here. Ryan, the Green Bay Packers are 3-1-1. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Detroit Lions last night. They are now 4-2 by the math. Green Bay is atop of the NFC North. I'll just ask you, are they the best team through 5 games, 6 games in the NFC North right now? Do you truly believe that still, Ryan?
Yes, they beat the Lions, right? I mean, head-to-head, whoever wins when 2 teams are on the field is the best team. Now, the Lions will have an opportunity come Thanksgiving to prove that wrong, and we'll see if that happens or not. But at this point, I'm going to take the team that won. If the Lions had won week 1 at Lambeau Field, they'd be the best team. They're not, because the Packers won. So for me, especially this early in the season, it is that simple. That tie on their record is just really weird, isn't it?
It's so weird. Weird, man.
I think couldn't end up paying dividends at the end, though.
It could, but I think the worst, I think it's more bad than good because it nullifies tiebreakers. And if you're the Packers, with how the first 3 weeks went specifically, even week 4, right? You want the tiebreakers because you have the head-to-head against the Commanders. You have right now the head-to-head against the Lions. We'll see if that stands in Thanksgiving. The one loss that you have is to an AFC team, which helps your conference record. Tiebreak. If this was a tiebreaker situation, the Packers start to the season looks pretty good. But they're not going to matter at all. It's a tie. They're not going to run into other teams that are tied. They'll either be above or below. The tiebreakers don't matter. So I think that's the disappointment, as weird as that extra number is at the end of the record. That's it. Tiebreakers, they'd be in good shape, but they don't matter.
All right, Ryan, before we let you go, I got to ask you this question because I found it kind of interesting, the back and forth between kind of in the media with McManus and LaFleur last week. McManus – coming out of practice with a quad issue or like an injury. LaFleur said they are concerned, and then McManus was like, well, like how they view injuries might be different than how I do. What did you think of that back and forth? And then McManus seemingly how he talked like, oh, it wasn't a big deal. I'll probably play. And then being inactive and them having to bring in Haversick. Like, what did you think of all that from last week and how that unfolded?
I think Matt LaFleur was pretty blunt about it after the game, right? He said this was a long play. And why would the Packers make a long play? Because this team organizationally, not just at kicker, everywhere, is thinking about the totality of this season, where they want to go. They need Brandon McManus to get there because they know a couple years ago, right? San Francisco, kicking in the postseason matters. You got to have your guy long term. The same philosophy with Christian Watson, right? Why was there no chance that he was going to be as good as this ACL recovery's been, and it's passed with flying colors? Why was there no chance he's going to play week 1? Because they're doing the long play, right? So that's what it's about. I'm sure Brandon McManus felt like he could have kicked against the Bengals, but if you're the Packers, you know that if this game comes down to a field goal at the end, my God, there are bigger problems than that. That's not going to happen. You have to. As much as teams say you don't overlook an opponent, you have to be realistic about the situation game in and game out. That was the situation. They made the long play with Brandon McManus.
Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette. Follow him on Twitter @ByRyanWood. Thank you so much for popping on. And I have no plans to get married, but I'll keep your number on speed dial if I need an officiant, all right?
Hey, I actually know what the heck I'm doing now, so I got you. This was a learning process for me. They're like, hey, can you marry us? And I'm like, yeah, sure. How? Like, what does that mean? Like, I have no idea. I don't know.
Did you have the license, the like ordained ministry license beforehand, or you got it for this?
I got it for this, filed with the Ohio Secretary of State office. I'm fully ordained now. I have some power in Ohio, I guess. I mean, nowhere else. The other 49 states, nothing. But in Ohio, I got some power.
All right. Well, that's good to know. I'll see if there's any destination Cleveland weddings that I can hook you up with.
That's
Ryan.
right.
Have a good rest of your day, Ryan. We'll talk again next week.
All right. I appreciate the side hustle. We'll get on that.
Yes, there he is. Ryan Wood, Green Bay Press Gazette, joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. On the other side, Mace, let's go over the weekend. Let's get you that Brewers NLCS roster in case you haven't already looked it up when we teased it like an hour ago at this point. But there is some changes, really one change just noted for the NLCS roster. It is the Mason Crosby Show presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. It's the Mason Crosby Show. Tommy Wirtz, Packers all-time leading scorer here. Country Mondays as well here on the Mason Crosby Show, of course.
Always.
If
you love country music, don't miss us on Mondays.
Don't miss us on Mondays. Toby Keith has to be on every Monday, too.
Every Monday.
Every Monday.
It's a different one, which I like.
It just could be Toby Keith bumps all Monday, honestly. We'll discuss. Every Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, whenever we're all together day, I guess we make our picks here for the week on our show. No final results yet, as we are awaiting Bears Commanders Monday Night Football for our slate. But a couple of things to note. I was the only one who picked the Bengals to cover the 14-point spread, even if it was 14.5, whatever it was. Bengals cover that, losing by only 9 in the contest. Iowa and the Badgers, I mean, this is a dumpster fire in Madison right now. It's unacceptable. It's a dumpster fire. Cannot believe it. It was only a 3-point spread for Iowa, which was the freest bet of all time anyway.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, 37-0, though, in favor of the Hawkeyes. Ugly. Solo games, Mason, Oklahoma. The Texas was favored.
I hate Oklahoma.
Yeah.
I hate them so much.
John Mateer probably should have been playing with the messed up thumb, the offense. Yep. I mean, they also just had the fakest 6 of all time next to their name. I don't think that they were a top 16.
They were fake, obviously. Pato, Vega, everyone knew what I didn't know, that Oklahoma was just awful.
I had the over in that amazing Tigers and Mariners game.
Yeah, didn't get that one.
Oh man, I was
Mitch
like,
was right. That 5.5 was a baiter.
A walk-off homer would have had it, right?
Yep.
Like the entire time, and it goes into 15 innings over the weekend. Instant classic for sure. But the final score of 3-2, Mitch did hit on his Steelers at -5.5 against Cleveland. But however, again, Tommy knew that Vegas was weird, man. They just know too much. Why was Kansas City favored in that game? Why? The Lions were a better team. They were.
Did you pick the Bengals too?
I picked the Bengals and I had the Chiefs. I'm 3-1 as of right now.
Here's the thing though, is I am in protest of the line change right before our picks, that Bengals Packers line, because I was taking the Bengals at 14.5. And I did not want to see my thing pick tie. Yeah. And so as it moved down, I just I decided, all right, I'm going to go with the Packers. I think they might be able to get this by a 17-point win or 16, something weird. But yeah, I cannot believe I didn't stick to my guns and just I didn't think the Packers were going to win that game by more than 2 scores.
Brewers NLCS roster. The Brewers, shout out to them. We haven't gotten to it yet, what Congrats. A phenomenal weekend for the Milwaukee Brewers. 3-1 over the Chicago Cubs. Hey, turns out homers play in October.
I guess they do.
That's what they needed. 3 solo shots. Andrew Vaughn, that guy is just taking over Milwaukee at this point.
He's the man.
He's the man. Our guy, Bill Contreras, professional hitter. And, of course, I stuck to my guns. We stuck to our guns. Bryce Terang, the nail in the coffin, that solo shot. He just hits bombs whenever he does.
I'm not going to lie, Tommy. There was a piece of me that was just gosh, is he just not a big-time player, in big-time moments? And then he just proved me wrong right away. So, I was just man, looking at his numbers through this NLDS, man, he's not hitting the ball well. He's kind of been in a slump. And what do great batters and great players do? They get out of the slump with hitting a home run to close that thing out. Unbelievable. And then, hey, just shout out, to PCA for his effort on those home runs.
Almost had it.
Great player, but can't judge how the ball is flying out of Miller Park or AmFam Field,
or just has the most confidence in his vertical leap
just
of
hop
all
up
time.
there.
And for both of them to just drop in front of him after
just deflating.
It is so tough for PCA. Couldn't have happened to a nicer guy. Can the Crew take game 1 tonight? We'll talk about it on Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Pfeiffer, which comes up right after this show, about a half hour from now at 2:00. Then on top of that, I will be back here at 5 to get you ready with the leadoff show, special 2-hour leadoff show ahead of game 1 against the NLCS. But you can go visit Sparky down at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound. courtesy of Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea on 1250 AM and right here on 105.7 FM. The Brewers NLCS roster looks very similar to the NLDS roster. However, a little bit of a change on the pitching side. So the bats, just to warm you guys up, catchers, Bill Contreras, Danny Jansen in the infield, Jake Bowers, Caleb Durbin, Andrew Monasterio, Joey Ortiz, Bryce Turang, and Andrew Vaughn in the outfield, Jackson Churio, Isaac Collins, Sal Frelick, Brandon Lockridge, Blake Perkins, Christian Yelich. The pitchers, however, Grant Anderson, Aaron Ashby, Robert Gasser, Jared Koenig, Trevor McGill, which awesome moment for Trevor McGill as well in Game 5. Jacob Mizorowski.
He was great.
Chad Patrick, another one of our guys who just looked awesome during that stretch. Freddie Peralta, Quinn Priester, Jose Quintana, Abner Uribe, and the one man missing, Nick Mears, is replaced with Tobias Myers. Maybe for some more length coming out of the bullpen. That seems to be there's some rumors of like back tightness with them. Everyone's got a back though. Everyone's got a back.
That back.
You know? I mean,
that back's there, and it's doing back things.
It's backing. The back is backing right now.
Hey, I do want to ask. We didn't do our G of the week, did we?
No, so not yet.
I got to give a G of the week shout out to Ashby in that game. Like honestly, for me, when he got out of that pinch, started out, I was like, oh my gosh, he's losing this game. Like this thing's over. And then he got out of that jam. So I was doubting him just like I did Bryce Turang, but this Brewers team finds a way, and Ashby, I was proud of him getting out of that jam there. And what inning was that? That was late. That was like
No. Ashby, are you thinking of Patrick? Like Ashby got pulled in the middle of his inning.
Was it Patrick? Then? It might have been
Patrick.
Patrick. Yeah, Patrick got out of the jam.
Patrick.
Maybe I was hating so much on Ashby. I just didn't even I kind of stopped watching for a moment.
And the Miz gives up his homer on his first bat and then bounces back. Chad Patrick went 4 2/3 perfect in this series. Didn't allow a base runner when he came up to pitch for this Brewers team. You're talking about a guy who was not on the opening day roster, wasn't going to be until there was an injury to Aaron Savali in that game, remember, against the Yankees? And then Patrick came up. All he did was his job, and the boys just never got up for him, we always said all year.
He just needs to come in with whenever it's a better situation.
Chad Patrick's the dog. He's my G of the week for sure.
All right, G of the week.
He was phenomenal, and can't wait to see what he does now in the NLCS as well. Some other news and note, James Franklin fired from Penn State, $49 million buyout. So don't feel sorry at all for him because it's the best job in the world to get fired as college football coach.
I mean, this segment always goes to the business of sports and like ridiculous things like coaches buyouts. Like talk about university financial malpractice. Like why in the world would they pay these coaches and give them these contracts for these buyouts? Like it has never made sense to me. It makes no sense. Like why do they deserve to have that protection? Like if you have that buyout, like what's your incentive to be great? Like you just know, like now he has 6 years. I saw it was like $20,000 a day for the next 6 years. If they pay it out over time, if they wanted to do that. So how in the world have they carved out this niche where these coaches get these guaranteed contracts that go, and then you have to buy them out for $50 million.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you think they deserve it, Tommy, or do you think that's like ridiculous as ridiculous as I think it is?
I mean, just don't hate the player, hate the game, right? I mean, that's first of all, it's the second largest of all time. It's still Jimbo Fisher from Texas A&M firing him was owed $77 million through 2031 from the university, Texas A&M University. So
it's insane.
Yeah, Ed Orgeron said it best when he got fired and he had a $17 million buyout from LSU. When they said, hey, you get a $17 million buyout and you're fired, his response was, all right, where do I sign? Where do I sign? Right? I mean, what? That was pretty good, Ed Orgeron, by the way.
That was good. Yeah, I thought he was on the show.
Yeah, and so I don't think that there is like, there's a flaw in the system, but it's not.
Flaws, again, NCAA. Why can't they step in and say, like, this is ridiculous? Like, stop. Like, you cannot give these ridiculous contracts to coaches that you will you will just have somebody pay out and find a way to get rid of them if they don't work out. Like, just stop it. Like, NCAA loves, and this is like NFL, all these things, they love putting these stipulations on student athletes, on the players, on the field, but they can't figure out a way to say, like, this looks really bad for a university financially, where they go and they're willing to pay out a coach that hasn't finished a contract $50 million just to get rid of them.
Yeah.
So then you're going to have to sign someone else because it's Penn State. They're going to go get somebody and they're going to pay him another 5-year, $100 million contract or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is malpractice. It's ridiculous. If NCAA wants to like stay the governing body, at some point they need to say, like, these guaranteed contracts for coaches, they're done. We actually, like, it's not allowed. Like, if you fire them, like, why is firing for cause? Not because the cause should be you stink. That is the cause. Like, in my mind, that nullifies the contract.
Yeah.
You didn't beat 2 teams, Franklin, that you were 20-point favorites.
Yep.
You're supposed to be one of the best teams in the country. That is our cause. That is our reason for firing you. We will not pay your contract.
It is the Michael Scott of, it is because I hate him. No, Toby. No, don't let him come in here. I am just saying this. There's no rumors. There's no speculation. There's no agenda by any means. But, hey, you want to get back to 9-3, Wisconsin? James Franklin? I'm not saying win natties.
Oh.
I'm not saying win natties. But
maybe you take a favorable deal too.
You
he's already
want to
getting
get
50
back,
mil.
like,
So
I would take 9-3 so bad this year, so bad right now. And I don't know what the situation is. I'm pretty sure the buyout drops by like $20 million if they keep Fickle throughout the season.
Yeah, this season's over. You just got to keep him, and then he's gone. After
so from his post-game presser about an hour ago, Evan Flood tweeted this out. When Luke Fickell asking if the Badgers can compete at the national level given their state of NIL, I don't know if that's something I want to get into right now. If I said no or I said yes, that's going to sound like making excuses. It's nothing that's going to help us on Saturday.
Something. You need something to help you, because like the comments he made before the Iowa game, like I heard someone say, and I thought it was a great take, like, what is he seeing week in and week out, like in practice, that would give him confidence that they're going to go out and be successful on Saturday? Because there's no, like, you can't say anything positive during the week and then go lay a 37-0 egg.
Yeah.
Like, you can't be saying like, oh, we got to get revenge. Like, we got to take it to Iowa. That was embarrassing last year. And then get embarrassed even worse at home this year. Like, that is unacceptable. Yes. If he didn't have a $30 million buyout, obviously Fickell would be gone. Like, you would think, right? In the state of what college football is, that kind of loss in this situation is unacceptable for a program that is trying to compete at a high level, I would think.
You would think. Are they trying, though? Are they trying?
That's always your question, right, Tommy? Are they even trying?
Yeah.
Like you said that. Their revenue, their athletic revenue is like 11th in the country.
Yeah.
So it's not like they don't have money coming in.
Yeah.
Like, spend it. Go and get the players, like do what you need to do. Get into this thing. Don't, like, it's naive. I don't like all that is going on with NIL, transfer portal, all that, but it's naive not to play the game.
Yeah.
Whenever it's there, if you are not successful with the current state of how you're doing things.
This is my favorite tweet I saw from this. I favorited it to look back. It comes from Abner Casanova. I don't think this has any sort of like professionalism to him at all. But it was just
doesn't
funny.
sound like it. Yeah.
It just says no drama, no cheating allegations, no scandals, no wins, just dog water football, Wisconsin. Like, that's all it is. And he didn't say water, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's just where we're at with the Badgers.
Just nothing.
It's always just like going to be something. I will say the breakdown on the James Franklin buyout is $666,000 a month, like you were saying. $21,000 a day. That's $153,000 a week. Just to not coach. So again, I don't feel sorry for him at all. And he's going to go get another job. Like, he's going to have a job. Someone will hire him, right?
I don't hate the player. I hate the game. I do hate that part of the game. I remember, Ron Zook, whenever he was in Green Bay, when he came to be the assistant special teams coordinator, was still getting paid by Florida, still getting paid by Illinois. Like he was making $4 or $5 million being an assistant special teams coordinator for the Green Bay Packers, while getting getting more years towards his pension, all that. So like, I guess in my mind, I'm just like, why do these coaches who aren't successful continue to have this opportunity? Like, what gives them that privilege or that right to be that next guy, to be a guy continually and continue to get paid, continue to have these buyouts? I don't understand that part of the business.
Yeah.
Because in my mind, I'm like, he stunk. Why would I hire him to come and lead my program? Like, I don't quite get that.
It's another example. It is the Mason Crosby Show. One more thing before we head to a break here. It's another example of you should be more mad than you are about this. Indiana football.
Yeah.
Indiana football going out, beating the hell out of Oregon in Autzen Stadium.
Yeah.
And that program was a joke until the NIL era, an absolute joke. No, nothing. They hired the right guy. They got Kirk Cignetti in from James Madison. The Badgers were miles ahead of Indiana University.
For sure.
Miles, forever ahead. And that should be Wisconsin right now. That should be. And it's not. And if Indiana is going to come out, and I'm sure the AP rankings, if they're not out already, I think they come out today or tomorrow, that's going to be a top 3 team in the country coming up when that next rating comes out. And that's where they're at. Indiana football has passed up the Badgers at this point.
Wisconsin should at least be, like, if not Indiana, as far as, I mean, yes, they should be, but they should be exciting.
Yeah.
Like, it should be just like, they're exciting. They can go out there and beat anybody anytime. Maybe they only go 9-3, which we would take that now.
Gosh.
But like, if you go 9-3, like, you're going to a good bowl. You probably don't win your conference, but like, they should be like playing exciting football.
Yeah.
Where like even the Colorado Buffaloes, they're at least exciting, like, because of Prime, because of the trend, like, they are making moves and spending money and splashing as much as they possibly can. So they're exciting. They beat Iowa State this weekend.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there is a pathway to at least be nationally recognized as a team to be reckoned with. And the Wisconsin Badgers are just missing that mark over and over again.
Sports Talk on the Fan, brought to you by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS. Watch your local game all season long. Just $2.50 a month. That is $2.50 when you sign up now as a new user. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. We got to get to your extra points on the other side, Mason. They are different from your field goal takes. They are your extra point takes that we will get to when we come back. It is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
What's on Mason Crosby's mind today? It's time for Extra Points, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on the Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Nellis on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan.
All right. Great Monday here. It was a pretty good week in the sports world for our Wisconsin teams, minus the Badgers. But yeah, we're just kind of trying to wait and see what they're going to do over there. But again, we talked early in this in this show about this Packers team, and it's like, let's just be happy they got to win. Let's not be a fan base. Let's not be like a group that's just is upset that they didn't win a certain way. Like, a win is a win. It's the NFL. Sometimes it just, again, the turnover battle. I believe if the Packers score on that first drive where the Bengals got that turnover, weird one, like that game is a blowout. Like it changes. So Packers have a few things to clean up. They're going to go on the road. I do think this week, just like those previous road games, like we talked about those a lot, these are important weeks. You got to go on the road and find a way to get a win against a team that is struggling, but has some talent, has a team that can play against anyone. So you got to go find a way to just be consistent, do all those little things, don't make stupid mistakes, and get a good win down there in Arizona. I wish I was going to the game because I love the Phoenix area, love playing golf down there, but can't sneak away for that one. But I will be coming to Wisconsin this week, which will be fun to see everybody. I'm going to be playing some golf in Kohler. We got a fun little Friday planned, live show out there in Brookfield at the Verizon store, so that'll be good. And then, hey, it's NLCS tonight. Yeah. What are you most looking forward to in this game tonight? What do you? God! Like, should we give our predictions? I'd love to do that in my extra points. Let's give our predictions for the game tonight.
For the game just tonight?
Yeah, just for tonight.
Just tonight. I don't even know who's starting the game, so I'm all over the place.
Is that normal? Like, why? When do they have to release the starter?
I feel like the Brewers are going to rock with one true starting pitcher the rest of the way. It's going to be Freddie Peralta, and then the guys who did start games will probably be openers throughout this entire time. They're going to have a massive workload on their bullpen as they did. If they can get 3 out of Miz or 3 out of Quinn or 3 out of Quintana, that will be the adjustment they make for the rest of this. But as far as the true starting pitcher to go multiple innings after the start of a game, I think it's just Freddie Peralta as of right now. I don't know who else I have the full faith in that. No one's going to go more than 4 innings for the rest of the postseason, other than Freddie, in my opinion, if he's doing well.
Think about the bullpen games that the Brewers have played. They've been great games. I think that plays right into their favor with how they play the game, where it's it's a little disjointed. Team can't really get a rhythm with any one guy. You're kind of, you're a lot of stoppage, a lot of, ebb and flow. And the Brewers just play into that because they just do things a different way than a lot of teams. I feel like it messed the Cubs up so much because that they are you almost felt like they were a routine rhythm type of team. And once they messed that rhythm up, they just could not get anything done.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but thinking about this Brewers team against this Dodgers team, I mean, they've dominated them this year.
They matched up very well.
It matches up well. Yeah. So I'm thinking tonight
4-3.
Oh man, I was gonna say 5-3. 5-3 Brewers.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the
over? What's the over under? What's the line?
If it's
is it 7.5?
No, 7.5 was game 5 though. That was the first time in a while that it was under on 7.5. Betting odds courtesy of the Potawatomi Sportsbook for game 1 today. The over under. Oh, would you look at that? 7.5.
Yep.
Interesting.
Hit that 8.
Interesting. 5-3 is in play then for the over under. We are still waiting to hear if we get a starter opener out of here. I'll double check real quick. I got it now as of 1 minute ago. As perfect timing from Adam McCalvey. Aaron Ashby going to open up today for the Milwaukee Brewers.
So he's going to open, and then they're going to have a Quintana or a
Miz, one of them ready to go.
Probably try to go 4 or 5 innings.
Yeah, Quinn's probably the first guy out. They want to go lefty righty. Maybe that's my prediction.
Yeah.
But as you know, I know nothing. That's what the Brewers have done. They've just they're playing chess with everyone.
Just keep you guessing, and then just go out there and play a style of baseball that not everyone's accustomed to anymore. So I love.
I mean, they
the
kind of
change-up.
abandoned it in Game 5, right? Like you hit 3 homers, like you didn't score any of the ways they do. They pitched their butts off for sure, and that's a big part of their identity and their brand too. But I mean, ultimately, the argument of can the Brewers style of baseball win games in October? Well, they hit homers. They didn't play their style of baseball necessarily.
They won 2 games hitting homers. So, they can do it anyway, and that has to be scary for any team. Like, you're going to have to play them every game, all game. Like, they're going to bring it nonstop the whole time. So I'm excited for this series. I can't believe it in LCS going on a Monday night there in Milwaukee. It's going to be awesome. Show up, get loud. Let's keep this thing going, and let's just dominate those awful Dodgers from the West.
Yeah, right. Blake Snell makes more than the entire Brewers pitching staff. If you didn't see that, that is something to note as well. This has been the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers. Tommy Wirtz, Mason Crosby will be back tomorrow. Now it's time for Steve Sparky Pfeiffer down at Kelly's Bleachers, getting you caught up on all things Brewers Dodgers. It is the Mason Crosby Show, presented by Verizon, the official 5G network of the Green Bay Packers.
Oh, yeah.